type in my username as my stream starts up.
Whatever floats your boat.
Okay. And oopsie, forgot.
Crazy off-wall introduction here.
I need to build up the interaction so I can actually keep track of everything. Okay, I think we're ready to go when you are.
You count it down.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright.
Yeah.
And they're off!
Yep, it's Legna and the Black and Run. Okay.
Let's go! Oh my goodness, if that mouse does not stop popping stuff up on my screen.
Let's see what these first 4 chests are. Not bad, not bad. I'll take it.
Oh, look at that. That's weird. Must be because the text is mixed up.
Yeah. The text is mixed up.
Like, I got hoverbirds and you got a piece of a heart. I'm going to die. Is this where Link dies? Yep, he's gonna die. Huh.
Did you die?
No. Pretty close. Rubies!
You opened all 3 chests?
All 4, yeah.
Or the additional 3?
Yeah, I guess that's the best way of describing it, huh?
Mm-hmm. And I have 3 pieces of a heart left.
I have half a heart.
Oh! That's not good. Okay.
That's not good.
I have literally 1 piece of a heart left.
What did you do?
And I'm dead.
Head start for me. That's the reason why I'm not too concerned even though I'm playing with like a pinch of lag. Because I'm like, that's okay. There it is.
The good thing is I know I don't need to go there anymore.
Wait for that boulder to come because I don't even want to even risk it. I got like a nice little 45-second head start on you. Because the good thing is like you know what chests to not open up. So.
Well, technically it's already open.
Oh, because it just really. Dead. Oh, I see what you're saying. I died. I see what you're saying. I was like, what killed you as I'm opening the chest?
It's okay. I actually got hit by the rock and I was like, oh. The chance of another ice one is so low.
So what's in the shop, I guess? I guess we can take a peek at what's in the shop. We're doing my jumpy jumps over here.
Ooh, that sucks.
Stop it.
That sucks for me.
There you
Okay.
go. Oh, come on, then give me my 5.
Now the question is, what do we want to save up for?
Keys. Money bag! Money bag!
That's
95 rupees.
of course, I think everything's open. Yeah, everything's open. Okay, we'll just continue going then.
Oh no. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that random dialogue's a
never
little
mind.
strange.
Well, like my game got stuck on the random dialogue.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't let me get off the bomb. She's like, "You want these bomb juice? Have these bomb juice." Okay, so I can't. There's nothing there.
Okay.
So we open up the forest, though, right?
Yeah, the forest is open. I think everything's open except the time. Maybe time's open and not the lake. One other thing. Something is closed.
You had closed the, like...
Yeah. And of course. Oh,
Dang
I
it.
need to get out. And I recall how I have to do that, but that's not going to help me. Okay. Okay. We're just going to keep going then. Because nothing in the store is apparently of value. I mean, the wallet's going to be nice, but I don't think... I mean, I could afford the wallet right now if we really wanted to, but... I think it's not worth it. Come on.
If you can get it early enough on, it would be. Oh, no.
Well, I could get it without leaving Croaky Village. Like, I figured out a way to basically make infinite funds here.
Guess what my audio is for combat?
What?
Oh no, you were lying! I'm gonna die!
What's your audio for combat?
Long range.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
I'd rather it have been like the forest temple or something. Very calming and relaxing. As I'm being eaten. Okay.
Well, this is such a great beginning.
Yeah, I got nothing. I can't remember. Is there one in the...
Oh yeah, I forgot to mark the hover boots we got. I also got the blue medallion. I believe you should have the blue medallion as well.
Oh no! That's funny.
You saw what I was saying?
Yeah, that's funny. Online music playing some introduced by skeletons. My game is going to be not nice. It's not letting me run backwards.
Oh, that sucks. Of course, the good thing is it's like midnight, so...
Oh, there it goes, okay. Yeah, it's not doing it. Like, it'll, like, be fine. I think it's probably just my controller more than anything. Okay, camera turn, thank you.
Okay. Hopefully these shops have something. My gosh. Dang it. No, not gonna get it. You can't fight. Can't kill anything, literally. Like...
This is a great start, isn't it?
That's not a bad thing to have, but I'd much rather get something else. Let's see what's in the other shop.
Oh man, that's a horrible thing to have for my Hyrule Field music.
What?
Got the combat music. I got the can't do nothing in here. There's nothing in here for me to get.
No, don't buy.
I needed to find me a heart though, because I bet that's getting annoying. People listening in. Hey, listen! Hey, listen!
I don't know which one's going to be the cheaper one, so I guess buy the one thing and then we'll continue on our adventures.
Songs. The hook shot. I can't afford that. I'm still gonna buy it. Also buy me that stick too while I'm at it.
There we go. Now.
Oh god. That's... Oh no.
What?
I can't... Oh boy, let's find out.
You can do it. You just have to find out which section in that option gives you the ability to move across the shop. Okay, let's get you real quick. Hopefully you'll have something good. Okay.
Strange, this door doesn't open. You gonna play for another turn of rubies? Sure, why not? You're not talking to a shopkeeper? You wanna play for another ruby?
Ow. I need to get this time just right.
Let me stop. Don't want to let me
There we go.
because of the... Oh, that's the reason why I get stuck. Okay, it makes sense.
Oh.
That kind of sucks for me. Is
Wait, what
the
did we
intro
get?
for the game your vocals or your text as well?
What?
Shopkeepers? Is your shopkeeper vocals the same thing?
I'm predicting so. The only thing should be different is our cosmetics and sound.
Okay. It's one of those funny things where every time you go to talk to someone.
Oh yes, the mix of text makes it so much more difficult.
It's not even making it difficult, it just makes it more annoying. Like, okay, I can't exit the... I can't leave.
So
He won't let me leave.
if you hit the
God.
B button or whatever, you basically can exit out of any shop without paying.
I guess I can go do.
Don't
Guess I'll
buy.
go over here.
Dang it. There you go. Okay, so that's the cheaper stick. Make note of that, guys. There's like one stick that's only like
scary.
a little bit.
I think I just died. I just died again. Which is good because I bought a bunch of sticks and now I can go kill stuff. It just respawns me here though. Can't do anything until I get the chickens. I'm gonna sew over here.
I don't need money. I need hearts. There it is. There we go. Get that sound out. That's not a weird egg.
It's not. It's a
Okay.
little chilly, isn't it?
What left for us to do here? There's not much left. What really is there to do at the other place? Oh, well, we could do that. Yeah, we'll do that.
Don't you be copying me.
I have no clue what you're doing, so...
I don't know. You just, in the moment it hit something, you said that, so I'm like,
Actually, let's do that one first. Since we have enough money for it, we can get that. That gives us 2 items, and we're gonna have to go back there at night anyways, so... We're gonna have to go back there anyways, so why not?
I'm kind of really good at making that jump, so I'm kind of impressed with myself.
Oh, gain the 40 rupees or whatever?
Yep.
That's gonna help you. Yep. Dang it, we can't do anything there. Well, since we're here, let's at least go and do that one thing. I can't believe I messed
that
that up.
one thing. Wink.
Well, you know. You know how
Oh,
it
I
is.
know. How do I know? What's gonna be that sound? Let's go find out what music plays here.
I think my stream... I think my stream is being weird. I think my stream...
You want the Garuda mask? How about that Soros? Okay, what button?
Oh, that
When I'm not sharing
sucks.
it, like it's weird. What's that?
I think my stream somehow took the, us sorting this stuff out thing. Which means I don't know if this stream is public or private.
Oh no, I know mine's public. You can't just like fix that on the fly?
I'm predicting that's
Yeah,
what
must
happened, but the
be.
downside is it has all the previous stuff, so I'm gonna have to go back and like edit it. Which that sucks, but I mean at worst
I don't want to start over.
or at worst I upload a video.
Alright.
Okay, cool. So it's at least public. Now the downside is if you go back far enough right now you can see it, but luckily I'll edit it and cut it. That's nice to have right now. Not really, but hey. Oh, we got sticks. Let me add the sticks. Because sticks are nice.
I might as well just go ahead and just do it. Just wait it out and just do it.
Wait, what out? Oh. Until night?
I'm like, yeah, because I'm sitting here like, there's nothing else to really do. I did that, got that, did that, got that, and I'm like, I have nothing else I can do.
Yeah, I was debating about waiting night, but I was like, at most at night I can get 20 rupees and do the dog thing, but that's it. And then I have to wait the entire night to be let out into the ward again.
That's what I was sitting there and I was like, don't know.
I'm like, I can think of a few things I can do before I'm that desperate.
Well, I could just go become Adult Link if need be, to kill time.
You could, but I mean, what do you really get out of that?
I start the next trail, pretty much.
Yeah, but like to do what? That's what I'm asking. Is like, what?
I think I have the wrong button configuration. That could be the reason why. That shouldn't.
I believe this gives me hearts. Please give me heart. Yeah, it gives me.
I don't know that's showing me. That's weird.
There you go. No more.
I can't figure out how to equip items. I'm having an issue with that. That could be very bad for me.
You just select the item. You
There
select the item and then use your C button.
I did, but it wouldn't do it. It was being weird.
Yeah, if you press, I think, A in that menu, it will show you what items you have map-wise. So, like, if you have a compass, how many keys, all that stuff.
All I need to do is find the ocarina. All I need to find the ocarina. Ocarina.
Well, if I can find the ocarina, I have a couple of things I can do there, too.
You probably already found out what I have then.
Most likely not.
All I could do is just sit here and wait it out.
If you're doing the night thing, no, I haven't, because I didn't wait. I wasn't going to wait the entire night. There's other things I have that I would do.
I will never tell.
Because I can get 3 chests easily here. Like,
Boogity, boogity, boogity.
and then if I can find the sword, I can get a lot more things out of here. Or really any weapon. If I can find any weapon, I can get a lot more out.
If memory serves me right.
I'll be your memory. You tell me what you need.
I don't think I will, bud. I think I'll just roll my dice.
If I get the bombs, that'd be great. There's a lot of things you can do
bombs
with
open
bombs.
up everything.
What?
I'm dead. Oh god. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Did you
boy.
die?
Never mind. Almost. That's so bad.
There you go.
Alright, I'm going to do a shortcut.
That didn't help me much, but hey.
I'm going to use the shortcut. You're not going to like the shortcut, but I'm going to use the shortcut. Alright, how do I do that?
Yep. I do like the ice in the chest. It keeps you kind of focused on things that you'd regularly just wait.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that hasn't helped me much. I got a key, but what is a key gonna do right now? I have the money to do that, and I can get a chest there. So we're gonna keep being a kid.
So this isn't the giant thing, is it? Or is this just the bigger wallet? Oh, that's where we tested that. All it does is just stack depending on... Like, you can't get the biggest anything, you have to always get the... No matter what, it'll always be the medium. Then it'll be the large.
I'm pretty sure of that. If you're talking wallet-wise, I had a... For my game, I got the 200 wallet before I could get the other one. But I'm not 100% sure. I need to talk to her.
No, I'm 100% sure, because I remember we had that issue whenever we thought we had the biggest quiver.
I have 4 hearts!
Oh, nice.
Yep.
I can't get out of this friggin' default.
Here.
Let me be free, thank you. I'm gonna die somehow! That's so weird. You have to go back and watch that again. Wait, no. Okay, no. Wait, I don't know. That would be bad if that's really what just happened. That could be very bad if that's how that just played out.
What, you found a way to get infinite ice?
No, I think I just bought ice from an item that I thought I was buying.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Replaced it with ice.
Yes, it does replace the model. If you are able to see the model, it will replace that model instead of ice.
Like it was an object though that I bought for 90 rubies, and it gave me ice, I think, instead.
Yes.
Instead of the object.
I want to say it's replaced from my little bit of playing here. I want to say it replaces ice with items that are of value.
Yeah, I think I just got done dirty. So in theory, you could be thinking you're buying an item and you end up buying ice.
Or you could see an item on the ground and it could be ice. The Megaton hammer is the one I keep getting screwed over with. I'll see the Megaton hammer and run after it. It won't be there. It won't be there. Oh, ice. Oh, so scary. I was scared frozen.
So I can't do that, can't do that, can't do that, can't do that, can't do that. But I'm like,
So much ice. Well, we can do that real quick. Hopefully that gives us something.
use my speed running strats here.
I really wish I had a stick right now. Sticks would be great. Wait, since I don't think you can get sticks in pot. Yes, you can. I know a place where you can get sticks in pot.
Yeah, so do I.
I'm trying to think of how many pots have sticks, though. Can I cure this with a pot? Right. I'm pretty sure you can't, but... Oh! You can.
Just because I'm being friendly about this and trying to kind of leave that door open. Dampy, was it like 10 rupees?
Yes.
Okay, let's see if I made it in time.
But I just learned pro skill. I don't need sticks anymore. I'm actually kind of shocked that this game is that old and has interactive systems like that. Now, sadly,
Too bad we didn't hide.
I'm not getting much out of it, but...
Too bad we didn't hide items in the Skotelas.
Oh, we didn't?
No.
Aw.
I don't think we did, because I remember I wanted to, and then you're like, nah. And I was like, okay. Dang it, I didn't make it in time.
I'll still go on my Scorchula hunt, with or without you.
I mean, if you find something, let me know, because I don't think we can. Or I don't think we did.
Dang it.
More ice. More ice! I made myself laugh. You're like, the moment I open it, I'm like, that's gonna be ice.
Too far.
You need... I think you need Din's fire for that.
Okay, one more.
Can't jump up there.
Oh, direct hit.
Wish I had...
Well, I've got at least 5 Scorchulas. That's nice.
Were they only giving you tokens or items?
I've only gotten tokens so far. But remember, you still can get items from the brothers.
Yeah, of course.
So you might want to go after them and just get the items at least.
Very convenient, there's no chickens running around at night. A good point, I guess Farmer so when I can get them.
I just got 3 without even needing a stick. Because some of us are just pro like that.
You can get items from Skotelas.
Okay.
Or no, wait. No, it's just broken dialogue, right?
Yeah. Don't trust the dialogue.
Okay.
The dialogue's all lying to you.
Yeah, my brain just had that moment where I'm sitting there like, I just got the Sun song again!
I keep getting it! It keeps telling me I'm
like,
learning new things, but I'm not.
Yeah, if we do another one, I'm not doing that again. I don't like that.
Why?
Making my brain hurt.
It's just making... It's one less thing you can trust in this game.
It's not making the adventure any more enjoyable.
I enjoy it.
It's over here.
Nope, I'm not gonna get that rupee. Not anytime soon. We're gonna get that one.
Oh boy.
Now I might be able to. Give me a second.
Come on, son, hurry, please.
That sucks. That double sucks. Okay. Well.
Frame rate's taking a huge jump, or a huge drop carrying this chicken.
Well, it's not showing up on your stream.
No, I know it's not, but on my game it's showing up.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to definitely do that. I guess that's the next thing we're gonna do. Because we don't even have the shield. Gosh.
I think so far we're having a really bad run. This is a bad run.
Okay. So I guess we're gonna collect a bunch of sticks. I don't know, guys.
You thought Nabi was annoying before.
Up, I know something we can do. We're still gonna get a bunch of sticks, though.
Hey, listen! Hey, listen!
We're still gonna get a bunch of sticks.
Sit down, Mike. Baloney. Oh, grab the damn chicken! It might not look like I'm playing with a flag, but there's definitely lag. I'm not gonna grab a chicken. The game's like, nah, you're not grabbing that chicken. You're gonna stare at it. Okay. He's a good chicken.
Okay, 7 sticks. Not bad. I think the sticks are like...
I need to go grab the chicken, and immediately, every time I go to grab it, it moves. I'm like, okay.
Ooh, that
I would have run faster if I was just recording it, not streaming it. Then I just upload it.
You could. Oh no. Well,
What's that?
My first reset of the night.
Oh, did your game get stuck?
Yep.
Did you find out why I was doing that the other night?
No, I don't know, but it seems like it doesn't have any issue, like, saving and stuff.
Game-wise? Okay, that's good.
It seems like it's literally just the last major area you exited is where it will save. Now, I did have it where it gets stuck as soon as I spawned, but I had to basically move immediately after spawning.
Just to stop it from lagging again or breaking.
Yeah.
Do you think it's more the emulator? Do you think it's the seed?
I'm not 100% sure. It might be all base ROM. Remember, I did just try to find it, like, off a thing.
Alright.
Now, the only issue is, well, let's see. Do we have the key? I don't think we have the key. We have
That
4
was my
hearts,
never crashes.
so that means
That'll be
we
happy.
must have at least done half of it. So, I think we're good for now. So, we're just gonna... The only hard part is I don't recall where mine saved. That's the only downside to it, is it's hard to tell, like, what have I done, what haven't I done, whenever it does that. It's like piecing back the puzzle.
Yay!
Yay, you got a heart. But yeah, this seed is like one of the worst seeds we've done.
This one's pretty rough. Like I said, sticks is our primary weapon, and like.
Well, not only sticks are a primary weapon, but literally everything you do is either nothing of value or ice. Like, the only thing we've gotten of value so far is hover boots.
Yeah.
Oops, I forgot. We also, well, I also put the 15 rupees down to get a song.
I did that too. I did that too.
And it's like,
That was actually the song.
yeah, it was. Now remember, the songs are randomized though.
More ice. This is rough. I know one more free chest, but I don't know if it's gonna give me what I need.
Right now I'm trying to do one of your tricks. I almost got it right the first time, last time I did it, but...
Thinking, is there anything there? No, nothing there.
Such a
Isn't there a
hard
shop here in the
trick.
town, right? Or is it only when you're an adult?
Well, I'm not gonna do it this time. That's almost a guarantee.
So in theory, pretty much if you can afford, so pretty much you're forced to anything that you can afford to buy, you had to just buy it because there's a chance that it could be.
No. So if it
It's
shows
only
an
the
item, it's the item it's showing.
Unless it's ice.
Yeah. Only ice is the only thing that is hidden. Ice is the hidden variable. Actually, it's not a value. Because I can stop at one of these horrors and get some more things. Wow, people are joining. People are coming. They're coming in droves.
Nothing there.
Oh, there's just so little. I'll never complain about having so little in a randomized game again.
Oh, there's that chest. So there's technically two free ones left that I know of. Off the top of my head. No, those ones cost a rupee, so I might as well go on ahead and just stockpile some rupees here. Because I know I'm going to need to go hit those next.
Bomber juice? Did I just find bomber juice? Whoa,
You found bomber juice?
I found bomber juice.
Yeah, that's good to have.
I found bomb equivalent.
Yeah, literally. Even though they don't replenish, I mean, at least you have them.
Well, no, they replenish. You just have to go out and buy them.
Yeah.
And only because they're here, I'll do this one. And it also takes,
good to know.
it takes hearts. It takes damage. Or really good
If you hold on to
timing.
it, it does.
Either that or really
exactly.
good timing. I'm sorry.
So in some cases, you're better off just
Nope,
taking the
that was
damage
a
to
waste.
guarantee you're not wasting a bomb or two.
Yeah. Because hearts are cheap. I can find hearts.
Perfect. Alright.
But yep, Bomber Chews are out in the world. You can get them.
And you probably should go watch your stream and not my stream on my phone, huh?
Don't cheat like that.
Me cheat? No way. Whenever your viewer count goes up, one is like,
He's cheating!
yeah. That's great. Let me use my speed running stress here.
Yeah, I'm switching between speedrunning and not. It's basically.
Like I said, I'm suffering through lag, so in theory, as long as you don't die, you'll beat me to the end.
No, there's a lot of steps you have to take. I wouldn't say lag would be basically, oh, if you didn't lag, you're good.
Well, I'm just saying, it can buy you so much extra time, though.
Like, you've done a bunch of the Master Quest stuff. I still get stumped on Master...
Oh yeah, we can't do this yet because he's still sleeping.
Yep. One day you'll find the weird egg. I haven't found it, don't worry.
Oh god, you know what Long Ranch is?
What?
Destroyed Hyrule. I learned the Sun Song again.
And a heart piece. Let me add that. There we go. So that if anyone's following in my stream, they know how little we have. Of course, I have more now. Because I have Bomber Chews.
Yeah, you have access to everything now.
No, I don't have access to everything. Because all the shrubs and stuff, I still need a shield. A shield or nuts.
No, you can use the Bomber Chews, I think, right? Because bombs work on Bomber Chews. You can run out, or to the, whatever they're called, the, shrubs.
They do?
Yeah, they do. The explosion
I'm not
causes them to
gonna
come
waste Bomber Chews on them.
Just waste one, I guarantee. Just waste just one.
I don't want to waste, because I'm gonna waste two. Because I need one to get there and another to use it on them. I've already wasted one.
Not where I'm going. I'm sorry, that's funny. That's funny what you said. I'm gonna waste one to get there, and then one to do it.
I mean, yeah, there's a few that I can get there with the cost of one.
It's gonna be ice. It's gonna be ice. It's gonna be ice. That's actually dungeon map. I'm like, it's something about you.
Oh, I should have taken the board back. That sucks. Okay.
You're already on top of the mountain.
No, not the mountain.
Oh, okay, you're where I'm going. See, that's how bad the lag is. You're already there. That's where I'm going, or working my way to now.
Yeah, but you and me took totally different paths. Don't pretend like, oh.
Good point.
He's just running at like max speed across all this stuff. You and me took totally different
point.
paths.
I didn't consider that. You're right. Good point. I forgot that I did the town stuff.
That's the first thing of value. That's the next thing I need to do. There's two things I need to do next. Now that I have Bomber Chews, there's two places I can go that give me more than one item that I know of off the top of my head. I bet there's hundreds of places I could go. And I bet people watching this know exactly where I need to go with Bomber Chews to get like 8,000 items.
Well, you can go pretty much anywhere that you think to go. I'm starting to run out of sticks, which is my problem.
Yeah, but sticks are cheap if you know what shop you're buying them from. Do you know what shop you buy them from?
Alright. Nope.
I know what shop it is.
The starting one, if I had to guess.
Nope, I know what shop has the super cheap sticks. They're like 5 rupees. Or no, they're like 7 rupees, but they're not bad. They're really cheap. Come here. We. Oh,
He's gonna saw me up.
That's a key. There's a key there.
Yeah. I think I had a really bad brain fart when I came over here. Oh, it's over here. It's closer over here. I see.
Okay, I need you one more time, chicken.
Oh no, the baby's chasing me. The baby's on me dead! The baby's on me dead! The baby— I better not even try to even attempt that. Go that way.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I know what's underneath that, so I think there's a
Please
chest
be Bomba Juice.
in this
Please
one.
be Bomba Juice. Please be Bomba Juice.
Oh, I'm so smart.
Bomba Juice! I got Bomba Juice!
Freezing death.
I like Bomba Juice too, that's good to know. So it wasn't even like a baby batch, it was a decent batch too.
Yeah, it's the starter batch. Remember, all the junk items have been replaced with ice. Hello?
Hello.
Remember, all the junk items have been replaced with ice.
Yeah, I heard you.
So that means you're not gonna find like 5 bomber juice. You're gonna find ice.
No, you'll find Bomba Juice because they're a valued item.
No?
I think it's referring to rupees.
No.
Rupees.
Ice! Lovely! And chicken's gone. Dodge his mess. There we go. Get some rupees.
I don't know how long the stream's been going, but we got like 10 minutes left maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking it was 7. Okay. So that path is opened up. Let me open up this one, see what they got in store. Actually, I should open up those 2. So I'm gonna have to break a rock so that I have enough health to net profit out of it. And I should be able to do that in 10 minutes. 8 minutes.
Or like 5 minutes actually.
5 minutes? It's 6:52.
Yeah.
I said at 7.
I know. I learned the sun song again.
6:52 plus 5 does not mean 7. And I should open up that path. Yeah. Because if I open up that path, I have infinite rupees. And that's literally the first thing I need to win this game. Okay. Now, the question is the rock gonna blow up before I take injury?
It does work. It does work.
Ah, the rock blew up after. What did
Woo,
work?
I got bomb back. I got bomb bag.
Congrats.
Bomb bag. I'm gonna clear all these out because we need I got slingshot. I got slingshot.
Okay, I'm somewhat jealous, but...
Oh my god, my game got stuck. I think it's my controller. I think my left trigger's like broken.
Okay.
Can't
Time this
learn
right.
a song. And now...
Dang it.
That's good. Alright, that's great. Bravo. Me so good. Just gonna equip all my new items here.
1,
Bombs.
2, 3.
I keep using bombers because I feel loyal to them. They got me what I needed.
Well, I'm about to have infinite rupees.
Yeah, good for you. I got the best item in the game.
I wouldn't say bombs are the best item in the game.
Probably the most valuable though, because like I said, they open everything.
They don't open everything.
Just make sure. Is there anything else I need to get while I'm here?
Let me do this one more time before I just jump off the ledge. There we go.
Is there anything I need to do before we call it quit? So I know I'm at a good checkpoint.
Okay. And then we're gonna jump down here.
It's a fairy fountain. I shouldn't go there.
What? I thought bombs helped you with everything. Go blow up the fairy fountain.
I don't need the fairy fountain though. I'm one ice chest away from dying. I'm not gonna waste a bomb on that.
Mm-hmm. Come on, give me the heart. There we go. Go.
I'm gonna die here anyways. One of those are gonna end up eating me.
Ooh, I found the lens of truth. And the shield. I found the shield.
Mmm. I'm jealous. Here comes ice, baby. Ice, ice, baby. Ice, ice, baby.
Yes. Yes, and I'll...
Oh, good, then we got that one out of the way.
I am literally 1 rupee under buying it. That's funny. That shield cost me just so much. But now, I can do Deku shrubs.
With them hearts. Oh my goodness! The tree. Oh, they went through the tree. They went through the tree. They went through the tree.
Let me take that.
Those hearts! Hearts!
Really? Come on, sit back down.
Oh, they died.
You're not gonna sit back down.
Hoorah.
That sucks. Out of all the places that heart
what's that?
could have been. Okay, let's go get that lens of truth. And I think that's going to be where the stream ends, because I don't think I'm going to be able to make it to the other place fast enough in a healthy manner.
Well, let me finish this last spot and then...
Oh, yes. I mean, I'm going to... I hate my life. I hate my life. I hate my life. I'm dead.
Oh, well, that's where your stream ends. Oh, that bad word.
Oh, it started me there.
my 3
That's
mins.
cool.
I wonder if that's the C more than anything doing that. Or the randomizer maybe does it that way?
Oh wait, I died. I didn't freeze up. Never mind.
Oh, I'm ready to start when you are.
Okay.
Splish, splash, I will take in a bow, 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 bow. Until next time.
You want to do a tally real quick?
I don't want no tally.
Okay.
If you want to do a personal tally, you can, but I, right now, don't really.
I have a tracker. I know exactly all the stuff I have.
Good. I don't like digging through my list.
Okay.
Until next time, Black and One signing off.
So now, so like now leaving. Bye bye.
I think it's done. I think it's